Garlic.
Dr. Rajan Varghese sir, Dr. Puno sir, distinguished guests, friends, family, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, sir, please excuse my language, I'll be using English. And as one of the speakers mentioned, that there will not be, if you're expecting some thunder like my father in my voice or in my speech, please excuse me, there will not be any thunder. I am not half as good a speaker as my father was. So please excuse me for that. So today we have gathered here to remember and pay tribute to a remarkable individual. My father, Colonel V.S.M. Syed Muhammad Makkar. It is an honor and privilege for me to stand before you on behalf of my family, which is the V.S.M. family, which is next door, and express our deepest gratitude to the Union Christian College family, the serving family, the OSA, everybody. I would refer to this as a UC College family. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for arranging this remembrance meeting. Now, Colonel Makkar was not just a military leader. A lot was being spoken about his leadership qualities, his military leadership. But he was, as a son and as a naval officer, a leader in true sense, in every possible sense that I can fathom. He possessed a rare combination of strength, courage, compassion, and wisdom. So, one of the speakers just before mentioned about his determination and that he wanted something to happen, and that's how he became what he was. So all these aspects which I just discussed, strength, courage, compassion for each and every one, and wisdom, were, I feel, the elements to his determination. His unwavering dedication to the country, which was again discussed, his patriotism which was discussed, his not only to his country, to his comrades, his men in arms, be it the Indian Military Academy or all the personnel from the armed forces, all the schools that he has attended to, all the colleges, his family is a testament to this character of his, which are the four elements which I mentioned before. Well, UC College Alva for my father was always, as he said, it was his alma mater, which is for a regular student, but it was much more than an alma mater. Somebody mentioned that his name will be engraved on the heart of UC College in stone. So you mentioned. So I feel that UC College was engraved on his heart, not only in stone, but in blood and whatever possible. And till the last breath, he had Alua Settlement High School, UC College in his heart. These are the visas that anybody, the passport, anybody can use when you speak to Colonel Makkar. You just say that you are a UCN anywhere in the world. Sir mentioned that he came down. So there have been innumerable occasions like this. You just mentioned you are from an ex-UC College student, and he never looked back after that. He would go all the way out to help that person. Well, that is as far as UC College was concerned for him. But even for us, we grew up just 2 kilometers down from here next to UC College. So we used to keep shuttling down between father's army bases, and sometimes we spent some year at Alua during my probably fifth standard, sixth standard. So, and every vacation we used to come down here. Somebody mentioned about the help that he used to do. We used to come down typically on a 2 months leave. In armed forces, we get our annual leave for 60 days. That is 2 months. But mind you, in these 60 days, I never used to get my father for anything. My father was always busy. He was more busy during his leave than when he was in office. In the morning, I remember outside the house there was a big chair which belonged to a grandfather, head of the family. So he would sit there every day in the morning. You have some people whom you don't know, and my mother used to continuously make tea for them. That was her responsibility. My responsibility was to give the tea to the guest. And I never knew, every day there were new people. We were filling some forms for UC college, for someone trying to go abroad, but trying to help. And this is nothing to do, it was impartial, totally impartial, nothing to do with the religion, a caste or a region. Anyone walking into the Violodin house seeking help was helped, and it was ensured that the help was provided. And that's what I saw while growing up. I have seen UC College from all possible directions. We had Professor Kareem, whose house, English professor, at that corner. So even now when I take that route, I keep mentioning that corner. I tell my wife. So we have spent a lot of time there. Whenever there was a sports activity going on, my cousin Nazaruddin, who is also Nasaraga as we call him, was also an ex-student. He used to walk us down for the sports matches here. My sister's marriage happened at Tagore Hall. When I see the college in movies, I feel proud that I am alumnus of this college. My father is alumnus. So UC College is not a college, it is an emotion for our family. So, and I missed to tell you, my uncle, Mr. V.S.M. Hamza, so equally illustrious career in a different field, NCC cadet, and wherever we walk, we have some board or the other where in the list I can see either my father's name or my uncle's name. So he represented the state hockey team, NCC Mountaineering Club. So this college is not an institution, but it is an emotion for us, especially for kids. When we come down to this, I see my father in this college. In his military career, Colonel Makkar demonstrated extraordinary leadership. Well, I can't dwell into all the details because already we have spent a lot of time. But just to sum it up, he led by example. So always at the forefront of any challenge, his professional excellence and bravery. In fact, there have been multiple occasions where he has saved lives. There are books written on that story. There are like stories when you go to that particular outpost in the field. This has become a legend that so and so saved, and this is when mobiles did not exist, telephones did not exist. He has saved people, human lives were saved by him in excruciating weather conditions. So the list just goes on, and he has been highly commended by the highest echelons of Indian Armed Forces. So he is commended multiple times. Well, wherever he went, what he used to instill was discipline, teamwork, and a strong sense of duty in all the personnel that who served alongside. So, well, now when I look back, probably he is the primary reason. When he was alive, I did not accept this. I said I joined Navy on my own. But now when I think of it, probably he was the reason why I chose to join the Indian Armed Forces and become an officer in the Indian Navy. Well, I didn't like his uniform. So I didn't like olive green. So I chose a different uniform. I chose the white uniform. So we used to have our, banters and arguments. So he used to say army is better. I used to say navy is better. Fun moments. So he used to make fun of us, our ships, and I used to make fun of army. So I remember this in my later half, that is after joining armed forces. our relation was completely different. So he was proud that I'm in armed forces, and between both of us, probably they've given more than half a century to the armed forces and to the country. Because for me, it has been 23 years in Navy now. Well, in all that, he probably wanted me to join army. So the plan that he did was he wanted me to be part of UC College. So I had my call letter for Navy. He got the admission form of UC College to me and told me to fill it. So he said, no, you will be alumnus of UC College. Whether you join Navy or not is your decision, but first you will join UC College. So that way, I did fill the application, because every vacation I used to fill someone else's application. So I knew how to generally fill an application. I filled for BSc Physics. Fortunately, I got admission to BSc Physics. I joined UC College for one day. And next day I asked for transfer certificate because I had to join Naval Academy. So technically, I am also an alumnus of UC College. I am also OSA of UC College. Well, this is the soldier aspect in him, but he was not just a soldier, he was a mentor and a friend to many. He took time to guide. A lot of people mentioned about the type of time that he spends, and it is very difficult to explain. It used to go on for days, it used to go on for hours, and he took time to mentor each and every person who came to him. And he somehow had this talent of identifying the strength of people, which they themselves sometimes don't know. So he used to tell them to rise, and a lot of them have risen, I would say, much above what they were expecting earlier. So he had this talent and unique ability to help others realize their dreams. So that is another aspect of him. Well, he also believed that service was beyond the battlefield. So he tirelessly worked towards the people who are less fortunate, be it financially, socially backwards. So he used to make sure that he works tirelessly towards them. I gave you the example wherein almost the complete vacation he used to spend helping people. Probably this was his way of giving back to the society what he got in life from his humble beginnings. If you see, you mentioned his father, Ahmed Said Mohammed, his mother was late Kunjibi Badu, and very humble beginnings. If you go to the old house is still there, not in a very great state. But if somebody sees that and looks at the exponential curve that he has gone through, he has seen a lot, and he has seen a lot about life. And probably this is his way of giving back to the society, silently helping others. That is what he used to do best. Well, beyond the social life, we used to call him Papaji. And a lot of people around you call him Mamadou. So if you tell the local people who is God in Makkar, maybe they might not realize. You have to tell Mamadou, Patalathil Mamadou. So then they will register. So we in family used to call him Papaji, and to an extent where everybody in the family, all the kids, all the grandkids call him Papaji. So that's his common name. He was a devoted family man. He cherished his time with the loved ones, especially the grandchildren. Even during his last few days, his wish was to see the grandchildren in the ICU. Even as a family man, he was a pillar of strength. He was a man of honor. He was a man of integrity. And for a lot of people, he was short-tempered at times. He used to get angry at times. But a lot of people remember that even if he gets angry, the next day he'll forget everything. He never keeps anything to his heart. He will scold you. He'll scold each and everyone, even including me. He used to hate my handwriting. He used to call it crochet. So then next he used to make me do cursive writing. But the next moment he'll forget whatever. He'll come back to his state of Papaji. So that's what he was for us. Well, one more aspect that probably has got missed out was that he was an advocate for unity in diversity. One aspect after his retirement that he actively pursued, other than, of course, finishing school and educating people, was his work in organizations like Forum for Faith and Fraternity. I don't know how many are aware about this. You can Google Triple F. When you go back, Forum for Faith and Fraternity, an International World Fellowship for Interreligious Council post-retirement. This was his work towards equality. I remember as a child, when we were in army bases, me and my sister and I, we used to go to temples every Tuesday because it was called in army temple parade, because everybody has to go to the temple, everybody in whichever religion. We used to go to temples, we used to go to church, we used to go to mosques, of course, and we used to go to gurdwaras. And that is how we grew up, because in an army base, all these four are next to each other. If you don't have a belief on superpower of God, because God saved me from the enemy's bullet, because everybody needs some strength. So that's how in the armed forces we work, that everybody is together, there is no religion, no caste, no region. So that's what he taught us, and probably his embrace of this different faiths, regions and societal construct enriched our upbringing to a large extent. Well, all these aspects apart, in our grief, I would request each and every present here to celebrate Colonel Makkar. Please don't be sad. Please do celebrate Colonel Makkar. Please do remember the long phone conversations which you had with him, because he was a signals officer. So he was like the communications man. So I keep joking that you have left your army and your uniform, but you have not left communication. Because he used to keep communicating. Even today when I take his phone, the list of people with whom he has communicated on a given day, I am yet to even reply to all the condolence messages. Because the number of messages which have come, I am still doing it. I am in process, so please do my apologies if I have not responded to your messages. So he was a communications man. He was a man of laughter, very funny. If you interact with him, he had a typical way of communicating, telling things about his life. So do remember his laughter, remember the shared stories and indomitable spirit and determination. And I'm sure he would find solace in us remembering him for his good memories. If there have been some mistakes on his part, please do pardon him, so that he can reach his final destination of heaven. Now, as we say final farewell, let us carry forward again the importance that he always taught us: duty, honor, love and courage. These are again the stumbling pillars, the pillars of armed forces. So, presently he rests in peace. I would say, again, I am jealous about his life, such a gathering, and where he rests is just 1 kilometer north of his college. It is equidistant from his school and college, Kadupadan Juma Masjid. 1 kilometer from his school, 1 kilometer from his college. Just rightly between the two hills, he rests peacefully. His grave is right next to his mother. So both of them, I am sure, have met. And he has met a lot of his friends from school and colleges, and he is peaceful. His last days were extremely peaceful. He was super precise on memory. He remembered each and everything. He was never unconscious, never on a ventilator. He was completely conscious. Towards half an hour before the incident, I went and spoke to him, and he was his jovial self. Even if you saw his body, he was the normal Colonel Makkar that we have known. So I would like everyone to leave with that memory of his. Colonel Makkar, you will forever remain in our hearts a shining example of what it means to be a true leader, a devoted family man and a patriot. We thank you for your service, your friendship and your inspiration. May you rest in peace, knowing that your legacy will endure for generations to come. Thank you, Papaji. Thank you one and all for attending this. Thank you on behalf of Vilodan family, extended family and friends for bearing me this long. Thank you. Jai Hind.